Welcome to Love Talk with Amish Matchmakers, where ordinary love ends and epic love begins. We help people to create epic love, connection, legacy, and beyond. Well, I'm super pumped to be here today. I've been doing morning calls with the men, our morning sessions with the men, and now I'm here with my wife, Chantel, to confirm some of the things we've been going over with the men. We thought we'd start doing some of this together too as well.
You said to confirm.
Confirm, yes.
Maybe.
Exactly. That's why I said confirm, hopefully. That's what I should say, hopefully. What we've been talking about and getting a woman's perspective. I've got some questions for her. Those of you that have been joining me in the morning, we've been discussing how to find love, keep it, and then make it epic. So, working with men that are single and also advising men that are married to make it epic. So, what we've been going over is the 3 C's of love, the 3 C's of intimacy, confidence, communication, and commitment. So, that's some of the questions we're going to go over today. I've got my little prompter here. So, all right.
What you
I
got?
think I got it. Where's my question? Where'd they go? Oh, man. There we go. All right. My beautiful queen. Thank you, by the way, for joining me, Chantel, and for being willing to do this. We want to help people have epic, right? Extraordinary love stops here or starts here. Ordinary stops here and extraordinary starts here with us. So, okay. Let's talk about the 3 C's: confidence,
Communication,
commitment, the 3 C's of intimacy, 3 C's of love. So we know that it's essential to do these and constantly work on these things. Um, what part or what does confidence? What does a confident man feel like to a woman? What does that feel like to her?
Feels like security, feels like protection. It feels like a release of pressure.
Nice. Okay.
Do you know what I mean by that?
Well, tell me a little bit more about that.
Like,
That's good.
when a man is confident, a woman doesn't have to be everything. You know what I mean? Because we naturally, are nurturers. We naturally, love well and, all of those things. But when we are experiencing a man who lacks confidence, then we also have to then
Just one more thing you got to do.
add the pressure of the security, the protection, all of those things. So it definitely it it, it causes us to be stronger, which therefore, you know, maybe a little bit less tender, like our natural tendencies. You know what I mean?
All right. So let's then take it to confidence and communication. What, because we know that they're connected, right? Confidence, communication, and commitment. What does it look like, or what does an insecure communication from a man do to a woman?
Causes insecurity. Insecurity breeds insecurity, because then it's like this cycle of, it's kind of like we talk about, like, the fear of a dog, right? When, even if it's, so, whatever, 97% of all communication is nonverbal. So if there's insecurity, that energy is what is felt, and that's then what human nature responds to.
And what would you say is would be considered insecure communication? Because maybe out there, a lot of the guys don't even know what that looks like. They think, well, I'm just being honest. I'm being real of how I feel. So would it be tone of voice? Like, what does that look like to a woman for a man to communicate in an insecure way?
Well, I mean, in my experience,
Yeah, come on.
there's
Good.
there's a number of different ways, and I think different men communicate insecurities differently. So I don't know that it's a black and white. I think
Well, give us some examples.
I think insecure communication can come from you know it can either look very aggressive, almost abusive in like the ego and the like, that's the man who's accusatory, who's blaming everybody else for everything, who's projecting the insecurity outward to everybody else. Then there's the insecure man that is very passive and um non-communicative, but in like, you can feel like this neediness, this, you can feel there's something that there's desiring, but then they don't have the confidence to say it. And it's kind of like, for me, I have a little bit of an intolerance for that. It's like, come on,
You want it? Go after it, right?
get it out. Like, what do you want?
Would you say too that does it feel like almost like, and it's interesting because a motherly instinct, right? Some women out there probably just will start to mother their husbands because he's insecure. Is that a thing?
Sure. I think it's funny because men don't necessarily want to date their mother, but they definitely can create a dynamic where they are mothered with their communication.
Yeah.
And lack of assertiveness, lack of even pursuit, right?
Would it be also lack of responsibility too at times, would you say?
Sure, for sure.
Yeah, those of you that are watching or joining us, you may be wondering, like, why should we listen to you guys? And it has been a fascinating journey for us over the last, oh my goodness, 10 years minimum, where we've helped so many people to get married. We've yeah, we've gotten quite the reputation of people getting engaged in less than 12 weeks. We've had quite a few get married in less than 12 weeks. I think our fastest engagement and wedding was 24 hours. Is that what we were talking about the other day? And now they have how many kids?
A lot. They have a tribe.
4 boys. 4 boys. They've given birth to 4 boys between the 2 of them, and then they have other children as well. But Randy and Rogelio Del Rio, that was a cool one. But again, I think it's important for you guys to understand where we're coming from. And that was several years ago. And we've helped plenty of people to get engaged, get married. We've helped start a group with Kaufman, Single to Married, where there's been lots of results there too. We officiate weddings. Like, it's been a busy year, 2025.
Very busy.
We're bringing it to an end. But I think it's important for people to understand that we have a lot of experience in this, and we've been doing this quite a few years. And I'm grateful for my wife and her experience in helping people through trauma and triggers prior to us even getting married and working on this stuff together. She was working over 10 years, almost over 11 years, I guess, in with abused and neglected children, teenagers mainly. So she's got an amazing resume and amazing experience, babe. I'm grateful that you utilize it for good now. In you've always used it for good, but I mean, in helping adults and singles and couples has been an awesome journey. So thank you.
Thank you.
So now 26 plus years. Time flies.
I'm getting old.
Yeah. Grandbabies too now. So Excited about that. All right, so back to topic here. But I do want to just let you know that we're going to start doing more of this. And I gotten my beautiful queen and bride to agree to give us some beautiful pointers. And I'm going to bring her some questions. She's going to help us to get better, better at confidence, better at communication, better at commitment. We know we've seen it with thousands of lives transformed when they improve these skills. I'm both male and female. All right, so now, can you explain why women relax around confident leadership? A man who has a plan and then takes action on it. I say that all the time, but why do women relax and actually become more cuddly and lovable? Not so intense.
Well, I think it goes back to what I said before. I mean, men and women, their minds think differently, and so when we have all of these things that we all spin different plates, right? But when we're spinning the plates of everybody's emotions and navigating, the home, the atmosphere, the feelings, all of those things, when we don't have to, add that pressure, then we feel cared for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because we care for everybody else all the time. So when, we have a confident man to create a plan, to, you know what I mean? Make those decisions, and it's like, it's almost like you can take a breath and just,
That's awesome.
it is the place where we as women feel cared for and nurtured.
So would you say that confidence, though, is more about how he feels confident, or is it more about the action he takes to follow through and get things done? Like what communicates confidence to a woman? It's like, well, I'm super confident. What do you mean? And the guy just like flexes all the time.
Yeah, I think it's less about what you say, more about what you do, but it's also in the energy.
Okay.
It's also in the mode of operation, the how.
Okay. It's good.
Communicates confidence.
Gotcha. So you're saying that he doesn't like move forward almost intimidated or even asking your permission, a woman's permission, that he just takes initiative and goes, or is it also a collaboration? Like, I think this is really powerful because I think a lot of men miss this, because you got the one side where men will just do it and not ask their wives, and they're control freaks. And then you've got men that constantly like, what do you think? And I only want to do what you want to do. And it's like, oh man, those are kind of extremes, aren't you? Would you agree?
Yeah. So I feel like, for us, one of the most powerful things and a framework, if you will, that I think has been really beneficial for our family is to operate from a place of team, right? We talk about the yoke a lot, and when we think of, if you understand team sports, and we understand we have a goal. Our goal is to win whatever it is we're doing, right? And we have different positions. So it's not about one being more valuable than the other. It's about, what your skill set is. I know what my skill set is, and together we're gonna win because we're a team.
Yeah, that's good.
Including the kids and all of those things. So I think when we are operating from that place in confidence, again, in knowing who you are,
Yep,
and what you bring to the table, knowing who I am and what I bring to the table, and then bringing it together, that's where we're able to really yoke up and get massive amounts done.
so good.
Right? You know what I mean? In our family, and even, even when we're working through conflicts, it's the same thing. It's the mindset and the framework of we're a team.
Yes.
Not everybody's gonna be on their A game all the time. So when, not if, but when somebody's not on their A game, like how are we coming together as a team and how are we moving forward in that? And how are we communicating that from a place of confidence, not insecurity or, because we can, it's easy, and you will see that in team sports too. If somebody feels like they're failing or they're injured and you know what I mean, there's not the support or, we can downward spiral as human beings easily. And the same can happen in a relationship, but if we keep intentional mindset of we're a team, it's much easier to have those weak moments and then get back up and keep winning.
It's good. So, what would be your message about confidence to men and the importance of that before we move on to communication?
Well, again, I think, knowing who you are and recognizing, owning your strengths and your weaknesses. And, I think another thing too is, communicating when you feel weak or, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Again, going back to that whole team, like we can't support each other if we don't know what we're dealing with.
Yeah.
Right.
Very true.
So that's where the communication is important and having the confidence to communicate. We talk about being raw and real and vulnerable and that also is a display of confidence in trusting your spouse, trusting that she's going to care for my heart and be tender with it and when I need it, you know what I mean, and vice versa, you know what I mean, like we have to, in marriage it's important to protect our safety and understand and know and work through those things. The biggest, I think, divide in marriages is when people stop communicating.
Yeah.
Because they're afraid.
Yeah.
They're afraid of, their spouse leaving. They're afraid that they can't handle them. They can't, handle their stuff. And, the truth is when that's being communicated, then you've already have a problem.
Yeah. Wow. Well, and she brought up a good point about identity, and we oftentimes find people get stuck. We have a process called Triggers to Triumph. We help them work through the story that keeps them stuck to where they can receive an identity, receive the connection to the Father, as we know and believe through our experience and what works for us to create the best identity is to connect to God, but not just God, Father. Know Him as a Father, know Him as a Papa, know Him as Abba, and have that intimate connection with Him. It creates a whole lot better response to the people in our world, and especially our spouse and our children, because we see ourselves better when we're loved by a Father. So I think that helps develop a lot of confidence and then develop your identity. And it's ever evolving, ever developing our connection to the Father and our connection to our best identity and connection to others. That's a powerful thing to understand as well. Now, communication. Kind of getting limited on time. Probably gonna have to skim through a couple of these questions. Communication.
Or save them for our next.
Yeah, well, true. We can because we're not doing this just once. That's true. We could get into communication tomorrow, I guess. Yeah, maybe we should make you come back tomorrow and check it out. But yeah, because confidence is a big part of it. And then yeah, let's do communication questions tomorrow. And we're gonna be working on time frames. Just hit the notification if you're on our YouTube channel. If you're on our Facebook page, follow us. And then Facebook is actually asking you now through algorithms if you want to see more content from those people. Well, say yes from Chantel and I. What we promise is if you'll give us a thumbs up, like and subscribe our YouTube channel.
Make a comment
on our Facebook. Yes, on our Facebook pages as well. We promise you we'll work hard to give you the best. Seriously, to give you epic information, epic strategies and tools that will absolutely help you to find love, keep love, and make it epic. We do believe that we believe in marriage and we believe in seeing lives transform. And I do believe that it can happen through marriage. In the home is where it starts. And being able to find love, make it epic, and then create a legacy that's epic, it's game over. And legacy has a lot of depth to it. I'm excited to get into all those different topics with you guys as we venture into 2026. We finish up 2025 and get into 2026. It is going to be an awesome year. And I'm super grateful that we get this opportunity to work together, babe. It is a awesome time in humanity, awesome time in the planet. Lots of weird stuff going on out there, lots of conflict and negative news, but what we want for you is epic. So aim higher than normal.
Love deeper than average.
And live an epic story. That's right. Live an epic story. You got this. God bless you.